My name is Louisa Field, and I'm a high school French teacher. When I tell people what I do for work, it's very often met with the same response. I wish I'd learned a language at school. I didn't understand it was important at the time. I wish I'd stuck with Japanese or Italian or Indonesian. Meanwhile, Australians are bombarded with rhetoric about how important it is that students learn languages. We hear things like, "We are being left behind globally," students turning away from languages with participation at an all-time low. We hear about the importance of Asia literacy, that bilingualism is good for the brain, and that languages are vital for securing our trade and strategic futures. It is incredibly frustrating because as a teacher, I have seen firsthand how hard it can be to keep students in language classes. It has become a repetitive cycle where not enough students choose languages, meaning there's not enough demand for language teachers, but also not enough students to go on and become language teachers themselves. This cycle is eroding Australia's language learning capability. We need to break free from it, and ultimately it begins with more students choosing to study languages multiple times during their education, with serious and concerted study over years to achieve fluency. These issues led me to begin a PhD, which aims to help address our language learning crisis by focusing on a few key questions. Firstly, what are students' experiences of learning a language in Australian schools? What are the key factors that impact students' choices when presented with elective subjects? What can we learn from the students who do learn languages, and what are the key events that have shaped their motivation? Finally, how can we motivate more Australian students to choose language subjects? To answer these questions, we want to foreground student voices, as these are largely absent from current Australian languages research. We also wanted to conduct a national study, as research is generally limited to particular states and territories. However, as pressure is mounting for a national response to this crisis, we decided it was important to provide current but also national data on this topic. We decided that a mixed methods approach, triangulating data from 700 survey responses, 5 focus groups, and 3 individual narrative interviews would be the best way to achieve this. We will listen to both language and non-language students at various stages in their learning careers, from when languages are generally first made elective in Year 9 all the way until the end of high school and into university study, helping us learn all we can about the students' experiences. The surveys and focus groups will uncover the key issues surrounding students' motivation to study a language, and the narrative inquiry interviews allow for a deeper, sharply focused examination of individuals' language learning experiences and motivations. In addition to the novel methods used in this study, we've also decided to use social media recruitment as a means of accessing a broader sample of students. This method, although commonly used in health science, is underused in education research in Australia. This student-centred approach is a more inclusive method of engaging students on their own terms. Understanding the reasons for students' subject choices at different stages is crucial for designing effective initiatives to increase languages uptake. This study will offer policymakers, institutions, and individual teachers powerful tools to combat key issues and will allow both participation and outcomes to be improved. As Australia combats the language learning crisis, accurate research and data will be vital to our strategy. We need more students studying languages and enjoying all the benefits that come from serious and concerted study. In the future, when I meet people and tell them I'm a French teacher, I want to hear them say things like, "I'm so glad I studied a language. It opened so many doors I didn't even know were there."